I'm Chronix from the most extreme wrestling, and I'm here to talk to you today about my travel experiences going to Orlando for Wrestlemania 33. And oh my gosh. So, first off, I started planning this trip with Marco around November. We got our NXT tickets, we looked at hotels, I got flight arrangements for us. I had enough flight points to get Marco there and back and me there and back. But there were some things that we didn't buy until right then. Like, for instance, I didn't get a car for WrestleMania for us to rent until about a week before. We didn't have Hall of Fame tickets. We bought them on the street. I didn't get the WrestleMania tickets until about 10 days before. So there was a lot of craziness around that. Plus, let me tell you this. So I have this cat. His name is Henry. He's adorable. People love him. He's insane. He's down there by my feet right now. But about a month before, at the beginning of March, he ate something, right? I had to take him to the cat hospital. He had to get it surgically removed. It cost so much money, oh my gosh. And I thought, well, at least that's over with. I can rest easy. I can go to WrestleMania and not have to worry about this little guy, right? Well, the week of WrestleMania, when I was going to leave, Monday, I noticed that he was throwing up again, and I thought to myself, oh my gosh, did this cat just eat something else? Took him to the cat hospital. They did some x-rays. They said, yeah, sure enough, he did. We'll wait a little bit and see if we need to take an emergency surgery and have this removed as well. You know, they tried some things, some mineral oils, whatever they tried to do to get it out without having to open him up. But sure enough, he had to have surgery again. So the week of WrestleMania that I'm going to leave, the freaking cat has surgery. I have to take him to the ER overnight after the surgery so they can watch over him and everything while he recovers from the drugs and all this kind of stuff. It was tragic and it was sad, but he's still alive. It was mostly tragic though, however, to my wallet. Because I was already going to WrestleMania. I hadn't even paid for everything yet. Like, for instance, the car, the hotel, it was pending, hadn't paid. So that had me freaked out. But luckily, I have coworkers and friends who took care of the cat while I went to WrestleMania. And I mean, I couldn't thank them enough because I almost thought about I totally thought about canceling WrestleMania, but I really couldn't because I was committed. I had bought all this stuff, and plus Marco's trip is also, everything is under my name. So if I cancel, he can't even go. And it was, wasting a lot of money. But luckily they could take care of the cat and I could fly out. So that morning, 4 a.m., 3 a.m., whatever it was, I'm trying to take care of him, finalize everything with him. And he had like a cone on his head, and it was just horrible. But he got the medications he needed. Everything is good. Moving on. I got to the airport. I was late. Freaking idiot. I'm never late. I'm always on time. But I was so worried about the stupid cat. Enough with this cat. I want to talk about other stuff. So, I get to the airport in Orlando, and there is just WrestleMania sign after WrestleMania sign everywhere. I mean, you could not turn around without seeing just something, a billboard or a television with it on it. They advertised everywhere. Were they really expecting people on the street just to see these signs and just bust up into WrestleMania just day of and buy a ticket? I guess so, but the thing is, everything I saw, tickets were above $200. There was nothing that was $80 for WrestleMania itself. Everything was $200 and up. Like, you had to buy tickets early if you were going to get those $80 seats. I mean, I got some $80 seats, but I bought them on StubHub, so you can imagine how much they cost. It was not cheap. So I get to Orlando, I get my bags. I'm seeing the little, what is it called? The carousel? The turnabout thing with the luggage freaking, escalator? Oh, it doesn't escalate though. I don't know. I have no idea what that thing is called. But I'm sitting there waiting on the luggage deal, and it's turning and turning. I finally see my bag, and I'm like, yes, I have my stuff. I'm not gonna have to go to the store and buy brand new clothes and a bag to take it back home, some new luggage, because that would have totally sucked. So, you know, freaking idiot right here, showing up late at the airport. But I got that. I went down to get my car, which I reserved at the cheapest place, which of course, you know, you walk by Hertz, and then you walk by, you know, every other freaking company you've ever heard of, walking for a mile, looking for the cheapest one. It was called Dollar. Is the very end, finally get there. There's no one there because no one in the universe uses this company. Everyone is at Hertz. Everyone is at all the other companies, you know, standing in line. So I guess it's a good thing that I didn't have to stand in line. But these people, you know, acted like I had a reservation, I had a number, and they're like, let's see, is this you? You like wanted a car, I guess? So they were completely clueless, but they were nice. So I can say that about them. They were very nice. And they did upgrade me from like the most basic car. They're like, you know, just get whatever car in this section. Which I don't know if that's what they always do. I thought that they assigned you a car. So I just walk around and I'm like, well, there's basic white car. And here's a black Sonic like sedan that's a turbocharged deal, and it's got like the nice leather everything and the backup camera. I'm like, I think I'll take that one. But still, I had to go ask somebody because I've never rented a car. I mean, I'm not that well traveled. I'm walking around freaking idiot, and I'm just thinking, if I get this car and it's not the one I'm supposed to get, like, will I get arrested or something? You know, I'm traveling by myself. I have no freaking clue. But I get in the car and I go, you know, check out, and I'm giving the guy at the checkout lane or whatever the credentials, and he's just like, see you later. So I assumed that I did it correctly. I didn't see any extra charges on my account, so. But all I had to do, rent the car, put gas back in it before I return it, and then I return it. So bam, the car was great. The only thing that sucked about the car was the traffic, which was not the car's fault. Or at least I don't think it was. It was all the other cars' fault, not my car's fault. It was the other cars that caused the traffic, because if you think about the traffic jams, like, they're the ones slowing it down. You're just trying to go at normal speed, but they're the ones that are all stuck in traffic. So think about it. Their fault, not mine. Not my car's fault. It didn't matter where I went, whether it was 2 a.m., 8 a.m., 8 p.m., midnight, whatever. There was traffic everywhere. Every freaking where. And that sucked. I'm used to just going wherever and never being in traffic, unless it's like right at 5. I can wait 30 minutes and there's no traffic, you know, where I live. But not the case in Orlando. Probably because there was 71,000 people there to see Wrestlemania, which is what I'm assuming is the reason for that much traffic, especially at 2 a.m. So I take the car to the hotel. It took me an hour to get to where I was going. It was like 6 miles away, I think, or maybe it was 12. I don't know. But I get there and they're like, you can't check in until 3. It's 1:30. Marco's plane doesn't land until 2:30. I'm just like, ugh. So I'm just gonna have to screw around. I don't know where anything is yet. I'm at the hotel. I'm gonna have to go backtrack, sit in traffic, whatever. But I was mad at the hotel. I'm like, really? I can't check in until 3? It didn't say that on the website. So I was mad. So let's transition into the hotel, because it was really just the crux, just really the most irritating thing that drove me completely bonkers about the entire trip was the hotel. Now listen, I went, when I first started looking at WrestleMania stuff, this was the very first thing other than the flight that I booked. I looked at the reviews for this hotel. It said that it was very cheap, And it was the worst hotel that anyone had ever stayed in. I read the reviews, the 1 star, the 0 stars, the negative star reviews, and I just vastly ignored them. Why did I do that? Because I'm cheap. I saw that the hotel, and I'm embarrassed to even say how cheap this hotel was, but I did the math, and it was about $60 a night, which is about half of what I normally do. Like, I never get a hotel that's cheaper than $110 or $120. I just don't. That's what I do. That's just the level of hotel that I'm comfortable with and that I always just expect. Nothing less than $100 for sure. But I went $60. $60 a night. Oh my gosh. So I went back, picked up Marco. We got to the hotel. We're trying to check in. There's no air conditioning in the building. It's Florida. It's hot. It was 90 degrees outside and it was 110 degrees in there. So we're sitting there at the check-in place. I'm trying to do my stuff and they're like, oh, well, you got to put $100 down in a deposit. And I'm like, what are you talking about? I put $45 down in November. And they're like, yeah, but you kind of have to put $100 down now. So I'm like, okay, well, here's my stupid card. And they're like, no, cash only. What? I don't have cash. Who carries cash? So they're like, oh, well, there's an ATM over there. So I walk over to the ATM and I'm putting in my card to get the stupid $100 out for these freaking morons. And it's denying my card. And I'm like, I know that I have more than $100 in my account. And it wasn't working. So I'm just like, I don't know what to do, but I'm leaving this lobby right now and going back to the car and trying to figure out what I need to do, whether I need to go to my bank or what. Then I get a call and an email or a text, or I can't even remember at this point, asking me, is this a suspicious charge? Do you want to approve this? And I think to myself, yeah, this is a suspicious charge, but I would like to have my $100. So I go back, rerun the card, it says accept. I pay an extra $3 that I didn't want to spend because of, a transfer fee or whatever. I get the $100 in cash and I give it to these people. And they put it in an envelope and I'm like, what? Wait, so help me understand. What exactly is this $100 for? And they're like, well, if something happens to the room, if you steal something or whatever, we take it out. And I'm like, but I get the cash back when I check out, right? Well, yeah. And I'm like, okay, so you're not going to check the room until after I'm gone. I check out and I leave, I get the money and I go. You're not going to check it until after I'm already gone. So if I did steal something, what's the point? Well, we'd take it out of your card. That's what I'm saying. You already took the money off my card. And they're like, I promise you, you're going to have your money back, whatever. And I was like, well, make me a receipt for that money and say that. So shady. Oh my gosh. Worse than that, I check in and everything. The review that I read, well, actually more than one, which is embarrassing to say because I ignored all of them, said that this hotel, they don't have a wall on the bathroom. And keep in mind, I'm sharing this room with another guy. There's no wall in the bathroom. However, there's a curtain. And it's not just a straight up curtain that goes all the way across, it's a sectioned curtain, so there can be cracks in between and it can come. Oh my gosh, so there is a curtain. I go in there and I'm shocked. I can't believe it. There is no wall on the bathroom. The shower, the toilet, everything completely open. There's a curtain. But it's not even a full curtain. It's worse than I anticipated or even could have dreamed. It's like a half curtain and it only goes to the middle of the toilet. So if you was to sit on the toilet with this thing fully covered, you could just sit there and still be in view, or at least half. And like if I'm sitting on the bed and somebody's on the toilet, I could just be like, and I could see them. That is disturbing. And there's mirrors everywhere, so I mean, if somebody's taking a shower, you could just be like, and you're gonna see everything. What the heck? So, you know, man, if somebody had to go to the bathroom, we'd have to leave, or, I mean, one time I was so tired, I was just like, look, Marco, I'm about to take a shower, so if you can just, you know, look the other way and play with your phone or something. He's like, no worries, dude, I'm not even gonna try to look that way. It was terrible. So look, you go and you take a shower. The very first night, the heat in the shower works great. Every other time it didn't work at all. It was ice cold. And they give you the tiniest soap ever, and they give you one. We get two dudes, we get one tiny soap. So I have to break the soap in half and just try to lather myself up in the freezing cold with these tiny towels. Oh, it was horrible. They never replenished my coffee. The coffee maker's cord was not long enough to be put on any other table than the end table, so I had to awkwardly put it over there on Marco's side to brew it because the outlets on my side of the bed didn't work. So every night I would take my laptop and I would stretch it all the way to the TV, and then I would attach my phone cord to my computer, leave my computer on, and charge my phone. What the F, man? And the TV, it worked pretty much the whole time that we weren't trying to use it. And then we were trying to watch something one night and it just quit working. Well, I mean, it worked, but there was just lines all over it. So it was horrible. At least the air conditioner worked in the room. But everything looked shady. The beds looked terrible. They were just on the floor. They weren't raised at all. I mean, it was a $60 hotel. I can say that. It was horrible. I hated it. But I kept telling myself one day I'm going to look back and I'm going to laugh at it. And I can honestly say now I can laugh at it. But no, I can't. I can't laugh yet. It was embarrassing and terrible. But, that was the hotel. The flight back was great. I loved the car. I dropped the car off early. We left, my goodness, Tuesday morning at 3 a.m. Got in the car, checked out, got my $100 back, went to drop the car off at the airport. I got ready. I sat down, got up, went and got me some Starbucks, a little breakfast, a little white mocha chocolate, and I sat there and I was just like, now I'm gonna chill until my flight comes. And my flight came and took off, man, and I relaxed. I was so just chilled after the Starbucks, sat on the airplane, got my peanuts, got my free drink, and went back. Well, actually, I went to St. Louis and then came back here to Little Rock. So the travel experience was pretty special. Parking in Orlando, everywhere I went, it was $10 for 12 hours, which was fantastic. Except for the one night, we parked in the same parking garage every single night and pretty much went to like level 5 or 6 every time. One night, I don't know what happened, but I couldn't find the car. I went up and down, up and down. I went up the elevator, I went up the stairs. I literally walked all the way around the thing. I couldn't find the car. I kept beeping the thing and I could hear it, but it sounded like it was in the parking garage next to us. And Marco's like, well, let's go look over there. And I'm like, no, it's here. It's here. I know it's in here. I even went down to the kiosk lady and was like, is it possible that you guys would have towed our car? And she's like, no, we don't care enough. She didn't say that, but you know, basically, we're not gonna tow your stuff. Like, we know that all you freaking idiots coming here for Wrestlemania, you know, you paid, we saw you, whatever. But finally, the last time I just said to myself, okay, I'm just going to look as detailed as possible. I'm gonna start at the bottom, got up to level 5, and then boom, there's the car. How did I miss it every time? I don't know, because we got off the elevator at the exact right level and I went beep beep, but the car went Nothing. It didn't say nothing. But we eventually found the car, so man, that was it was some crazy times. A crappy hotel, a very nice car, loved the flight. We walked from our parking garage, which was like a couple blocks away from the Amway Center, walked another mile to the Citrus Bowl. So there was a lot of walking. It was 90 degrees, it was hot. Everywhere I went though, I was a freaking genius. I went to Walmart, bought 2 cases of water. And every time we would go out in the morning, I would just load my backpack up with waters. And I would just drink them. And then, when I went to the shows, I couldn't take a backpack, so I would carry 2 or 3 bottles in my hand. And I would just walk around, going to the show, and I would just drink them, and I'd throw them away, recycle them, whatever. And then, get to the actual last check, security check going into the venues, and, no water bottles allowed, which I think is a very stupid rule, but I guess some people sneak in vodka. I don't know. So I would grab it, throw it away, take my last drink or whatever, throw it away, and it was good. So that was my travel experience. Hope you enjoyed it more than I did the hotel, but definitely a good story, even though it was horrible, a horrible experience. But I'll be smarter and much more well equipped for next year's WrestleMania, assuming that I go. I hope I go. It's pretty close over there in New Orleans. But I will catch you guys next time.